Day 110. I ended my water fast now 56 hours in. I felt awful. My MS symptoms are really bad. So I made this video like 1,000 times and I'm not gonna do it again because I'm just screaming and yelling at this damn video. So I'm gonna do something else instead. That's what I decided. I'm gonna tell you 2 stories out of my family. So it's food stories. And it maybe will describe a little bit my relationship with food. So I think that will calm me a little bit more down than just being angry. One story was when I was on holidays with my dad. I was around maybe 19 and we went to Greece. We've been there, he had some colleagues of his with us and we were sitting there and we had this big, how do you say that, buffet. You have a lot of dishes and like the desserts that were there were like, my whole living room was full of it, you know, cakes and puddings and all these kind of things and cookies and everything from every country. It was just unbelievable. So my dad got up, took some yogurt and some fruits with a little bit of honey and told me I need to eat more healthy, and he gave me this and he said don't eat anything sweet. I said, okay, you know, you're looking at these great, amazing things. And I said, okay, yeah, if I have to, with some nuts on it. So I ate that. And he said, yeah, go to the room. We will catch up later. I just have to talk to my colleagues. So I went out, and then I realized I forgot my jacket. So I came back into the, to the dining room, saw my dad in front of the desserts. He was piling up the plate like this much, and I'm not overacting. It was like this much of food, and he was like looking at me like a child that was catched in, I don't know, stealing stuff. He was standing there with his plate and he said, okay, you catch me. And I said, why the hell do you forbid me to eat something and you are piling up like a crazy person? And he said, you know what, I'm weak, I'm really weak, and I am morally wrong to do so. So yeah, you are. Then we got, you know, he was saying, take a plate, take whatever you want. That's one thing. The other story is my grandfather. So he was putting on a diet because of his heart. So my grandmother, who usually cooked a lot and also fatty stuff and all these kind of things, she started cooking healthy. So she was serving him the healthy food and he was very, you know, sad. So one day, a friend of my grandmother told her, I have to tell you something. I saw your husband in a hotel room, you know, and he's going every day into the hotel and I see him every day when I go to work. And she was like, oh my God, he's cheating on me. Oh my God, oh my God. And she confronted my grandfather, even seeing, you know, the bills and so on. So she said, what the hell are you doing? You know, you're spending so much money in the hotel. I just saw the credit cards you're spending there. And he said, are you cheating? Are you cheating? He said, yeah, I am, with another cook, because I'm sick of this healthy food. I'm eating there my steak and my butter, and that's what I love to eat. So no, I'm sick of this healthy food. So it was a funny story about my grandfather. So my grandmother was devastated and angry. But that's just 2 little stories of my life. How food is to my family. And the fun part is my mom also did now the fasting with me together and she managed it so easy. For her, it's so easy. My mom grew up completely different. And in the end, she's not addicted to sweet at all. She sometimes eats bread and these kind of things, but my mom is very thin and just very amazing, beautiful. And she's never had problems with food or around food. She doesn't just have these problems. But my dad is the complete opposite. He's like crazy with food. Every 5 minutes he just shows up. The first thing he asks, am I fat? Am I fat? Is my stomach back? And these kind of things. He looks still, you know, normal, but he was always afraid to getting fat. So something in their minds is just around food. So I'm in between these 2 genetic family parts of me, you know, having my mom being, you know, calm around food, and I have days where I'm like her and it's easy for me to do stuff. But most of the days I'm like my other part of the family who is just crazy around food, crazy. So, and very addictive to things. You know, my grandmother had an alcohol problem. So I live between 2 very, very different worlds, and in me it's like combined, and that's what sometimes I feel. So for me, food is not easy. It's just not. So since I fasted, my cravings got through the roof, which were really good under control. Right now, I'm craving cookies like crazy. And it's just such a wrong direction and such a wrong way. This fasting really did me no good, no good. Because I felt awful. My MS symptoms kicked back in. I felt just so much pain in my stomach, which I was really confused. How can I have pain in my stomach when there is nothing inside? Like, really, I can't explain it. It was just a lot of happening in my body, and a lot of things were just, hurting. So I wasn't even able to walk up the hill to the church today. And that's when I said, I need to figure this out. So next week I'm starting with the B12 therapy, which Dr. Chafer recommended to me. I'm gonna try that. But if it's in 1 week, it's not working even that, and my symptoms are worse, I'm getting to the hospital. I'm getting my medication, and I don't want to hear it. That's maybe I will deactivate these comments, because I'm so sick of this. People don't know shit about my journey, about what I'm going through, and where other people have been when they started carnivore, and how much symptoms and things they were really having in the end, because every person is different. Every person is different. And I was left with a lot of damage after my seizures and seizures and seizures. So I'm not gonna go through with it. I need to be on time, and now I'm even late. So if the B12 doesn't work and I'm not getting better, hell no, this is not really good for me. I do believe in carnivore. I do believe that it's getting better, but I don't believe that it's getting that fast, and especially not for people who are already extremely sick, that it will help you in a few months, which is like 111 days. It's nothing. It's based nothing for years of damage. So you really need, not my wolf pack, which are amazing people and know how to communicate their journeys and their experiences, but all these other crappy people also on carnivore showing up, being condescending, arrogant, and saying, I'm not condescending, I'm arrogant. If you're watching this video, you really need to switch it up and have another life, just a little tip, or look at the wolf pack, because they know how to communicate in the end. But these people are just no shit, sitting there in their underpants watching maybe some YouTube and podcasts, and then have an opinion on something they have no clue about. And even the people who have a clue about don't. Nutrition is something, and food and health is something we don't know nothing about. We don't know nothing about in the end, because there are so many development. There are so many different kind of, studies showing up. Every person is reacting different also to kind of medication. Some are starting to having allergies or even dying from medication. Some people are healing from some sort of food, and there are so many variables in their whole life. If they're stressed out, if they have anything else which is happening in the body which you don't know or not aware of, and some maybe even not having enough of some kind of vitamins that they never tested in the end, because it's expensive. Me testing basically maybe 5% of the vitamins cost me 500 euros. Who have the money to test everything? So keep that in mind, and really you need to know that you know shit. That's really important and crucial, that you know nothing just because you read some books, listen to some podcasts or some doctors, because it depends on what I want to believe. I can watch, some doctors telling me fasting is amazing if I want to believe that, or I can watch a lot of doctors also saying fasting is the worst thing you can do to your body. Which kind of thing would I like to know? Then I'm gonna go there and see it as my big guru influencer, because that's how this works, seeing people as their leaders, and that's how peer pressure is also starting. So I'm not the kind of person, I don't look at one person and have an opinion. I look at my own experience and what works for me, and I will get some inspiration of a lot of people, even from vegans, even from carnivores, even from whatever. Me personally, not gonna eat vegetables because I don't like them anymore. I just don't. So that kind of switches and changes. I don't see the benefits in kind of nuts or seeds and these kind of things, because they're very high in calorie and doesn't bring me anything, no satisfaction, nothing. So don't see the point in eating this kind of things. We have our own fruits. It's a very, very crucial thing. Fruits are really full of pesticides. Fruits are so bad And we saw, my whole family saw it as soon we ate some fruits or berries and these kind of things, which were full of pesticides. Oh my God, we're done. But we grow our own fruits. So my son today did have, I didn't, cherries and some like this red small berries, and yeah, that's what he had. So I will see how he's doing on that, because they're growing here on my tree and we're not spraying it with anything. So that's basically what I can tell you from my own experience, and I'm open to everything. But for now, I do think that carnivore is the right way. But for me, kind of the lion diet, beef, salt water thing is just not something I enjoy. It's really, really, really extremely hurting my mental state. Really hurting my mental state, my personal. And for other people it works, amazing. Be happy for that. But don't be arrogant about it just because it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. I'm not happy with it. I don't feel good, and my cravings started again. So I need to figure out what works for me in the end, and it's still a journey. And I was very close to not post anymore, because YouTube never was for me to entertain people. Never. I don't see myself with other influencers standing there making pictures and, you know, having money from, you know, holding some supplements into the fucking camera. That's not what I did it in first place. I did it for my own personal, just see how did I look, how did my mental state changes every day, what are the patterns, to see something from me personally, and to get to know people who are struggling with the same things and who are maybe having other inspiration and advice because they see my journey, and then they have some other perspective that will help me along my road. So that's why I did it YouTube in the first place. But YouTube pushing my videos, this is like really black and white situation. You have the amazing wolf pack, and then on the other hand, you know, a lot of very, very bad carnivore people showing up. Carnivore people. And that's where I say hell no. Because I don't care about the vegans and these kind of things. I can handle that. I was vegan myself, so I know what they're struggling and what they're feeling. I can, you know, I can empathize with that. I really can. But with the carnivores, you know, being assholes about some carnivore journey, that's just for me a hell no. That's where I really, you know, cut the crap. And that's why I struggled a little bit with continuing. And then I always remember myself how much amazing people there are also on my channel, just showing up, being compassionate, being good humans, being amazing humans, and supporting each other. And that's what this is about in the end, you know, supporting each other. And that's what we're going to continue. And I fight every day, because I just cannot handle these kind of things. It's really making me angry. It's really, you know, this destroying my then Sunday, because I'm just angry. It's just anger. But it helps me to navigate through this. And it helped me to watch a lot of videos how to handle anger, how to handle, you know, haters, emotional stress, you know, not constructive criticism, because constructive criticism is something completely different, which a lot of people just can't do, you know, they just don't do it the right way. So for me, it's helping to navigate through this. And I will see. We have still our little AI program from my company. Maybe I will use it for good and put the haters' comments in there and just see what the AI is coming up with to tell them. And then you little haters can talk to my AI if this is what you enjoy doing. So, yeah, I know I suck today with my whole energy, but I promised. I post every day, I be fucking real, and even if it's like this bad, I'm gonna be honest about it. So, I have a bad hair day, and I'm now going to wash my hair and try to reset my mood. Maybe have even coffee just to wake up a little bit, or not. I don't know. We will figure this out. Or even have a cookie. I don't know. I try not to. But I'm really, really tempted. Really tempted. Because my emotional state is really bad. Really, really bad right now. So we're gonna work on that as much as I can. So, and see you tomorrow, as always.